You've just brought this tiny, incredible human home from the hospital. You're staring at them, they're staring back at you. Well, sort of, in that blurry newborn way. And this one thought just echoes in your mind. Am I doing enough?
Oh, that question is the unofficial anthem of new parenthood, isn't it? You see all these products online, these black and white flashcards, the fancy sensory gyms, and you start to wonder, do I need all of this? Am I stimulating my baby's brain correctly? It can feel overwhelming.
Exactly. But what if we told you that the most powerful tools for your baby's development aren't in a box from a store? What if they're already in your home? And in fact, what if the most important tool is you?
That's what we're diving into today. We're stripping it all back to the essentials, the simple, science-backed ways to connect with your baby and light up their brain in these precious first 12 weeks.
Welcome to the Rising Parent Podcast. I'm Tim.
And I'm Edna. We're certified parenting coaches with over 20 years of experience helping families find confidence and joy in their parenting journey.
And just a quick reminder, we release brand new episodes of the Rising Parent Podcast every Monday and Friday. So be sure to subscribe so you never miss a thing.
Today's episode is titled Infant Sensory Play, Science-Backed Activities for Your Baby's First 12 Weeks. We're demystifying newborn brain development and giving you low-tech, high-impact activities that you can start doing today.
No complicated setups, no expensive toys. Just you, your baby, and a whole lot of brain-building magic. Now, let's get started. All right, Edna, let's start with the big question. Why is this period, the first 0 to 3 months, so critically important for brain development? It feels like they're just sleeping and eating, but there is so much happening under the surface.
Oh, so much. It's an absolute explosion of growth. Think about it this way. A newborn's brain doubles in size in the first year alone. It's the most rapid period of brain development in a human's entire life. It's mind-boggling, really.
It is. And what's happening is the formation of neural connections, or synapses. At birth, a baby has almost all the neurons they'll ever have, but the connections between them are still being formed. Every single experience, every touch, every sound, every sight helps create and strengthen these connections.
I love the analogy of building a city from the ground up. At birth, you have all the land and all the raw materials. Every time your baby hears your voice, that's a new road being paved. Every time they feel the texture of a soft blanket, that's a foundation for a new building. Every time they see your face, a whole skyscraper of social emotional understanding starts to go up.
That's a perfect way to put it. And the science behind it is this concept called synaptic pruning. The brain actually overproduces these connections, and then, based on experience, it prunes away the ones that aren't being used and strengthens the ones that are. It's a literal use it or lose it system. So when we provide these simple sensory experiences, we're telling the brain, hey, this connection is important. Keep this one.
Right, and I think this is where a lot of parents we work with in our coaching feel the pressure. I remember one new mom, let's call her Sarah, who was so worried. She said, Edna, I feel like I should be teaching him. Should I have flashcards with letters already? Am I behind? And I had to just, take a breath with her and say, Sarah, you are teaching him. Every time you talk to him while changing his diaper, you're teaching him language. Every time you rock him, you're teaching him rhythm and security. You don't need a curriculum, you just need connection.
That's the whole ballgame right there. Connection is the curriculum for a newborn. So let's break down how we can foster that connection through the senses, because that's really their main channel for learning about the world. Let's start with vision, because it's probably the most misunderstood sense in a newborn.
Yeah, everyone just thinks they can't see much, right? It's all a blur?
Pretty much. A newborn's vision is about 2400. They can see best from about 8 to 12 inches away, which not coincidentally is about the distance from your arms to your face when you're holding them.
Oh, I love that. Nature is so smart. It's like they're hardwired to focus on their caregiver.
Exactly. And their world isn't just blurry, it's also lacking in color. The cones in their eyes, which are responsible for color vision, are still immature. But the rods, which detect light and shadow, are working much better. And this is why you hear so much about one specific thing for newborn visual development.
Black and white, high contrast. It's everywhere now, isn't it? Black and white books, mobiles, toys.
It is, and for good reason, because they see in light and shadow. A simple, bold, black and white pattern is like a giant flashing neon sign for their developing brain. It's clear, it's easy for them to focus on, and it provides incredibly powerful visual stimulation. It's one of the first things their eyes can actually make sense of in this big, blurry world.
Okay, so that's the science, but you and I are all about the practical application. A parent listening right now is probably thinking, okay, great. Do I need to go on Amazon and buy $100 worth of black and white stuff?
Absolutely not. This is the beauty of low-tech sensory play. You have everything you need already. Seriously, do you have a piece of paper and a black marker?
I think most people can manage that.
Great. Draw some simple shapes, thick stripes, a checkerboard, a simple spiral, a smiley face. Prop it up near the changing table, 8 to 12 inches from their face. That's it. You've just made a world-class brain-stimulating toy for literally pennies.
Yes, I remember in the daycare, we had these laminated cards we made ourselves, just simple black shapes on white cardstock. And during tummy time or a diaper change, we would just place one nearby. And you'd see these tiny, tiny infants, just a few weeks old, lock their eyes onto it. Their whole body would go still and they would just stare. You could practically see the wheels turning.
You really could. And it's not just about what they look at, but also teaching them how to look. This is where tracking comes in. Once they can focus on an object, you can start to move it very, very slowly from side to side. Their eyes will follow it. This simple act is building the foundational eye muscles and coordination they'll need for everything later in life, from catching a ball to reading a book.
And what can they track? Again, it doesn't have to be a toy. It can be that paper plate you just drew on. It can be a wooden spoon with a dark handle against a light wall. Or, and this is the most important one, it can be your face.
The number one visual toy for a baby, hands down. Nothing is more fascinating to a newborn than the human face. The contrast of your eyes, your hairline against your forehead, the movement of your mouth. It's a symphony of visual input.
And when you combine that with exaggerated expressions, a big, slow smile, raising your eyebrows, opening your mouth in a surprised, oh, you're giving them visual, social, and emotional information all at once. That's when you start to get those first social smiles around 6 to 8 weeks. And let me tell you, for a sleep-deprived parent, that first intentional smile is like pure rocket fuel.
It's the best. So takeaway for vision, think high contrast, think simple, and remember your face is the main event. You don't need to buy a thing.
Okay, so that's sight, but a baby's world isn't silent. What about what they're hearing?
Great transition. Hearing is actually one of the most developed senses at birth. They've been listening to sounds in the womb for months. They know the muffled sound of their mother's voice, the rhythm of her heartbeat. These are familiar, comforting sounds.
Which is why, once again, the parent is the most important, well, sound machine, I guess. Your voice is their favorite song.
It truly is. And a lot of parents feel a bit self-conscious about talking to a baby who can't talk back. They feel silly. But narrating your day is one of the most powerful things you can do. Okay, now I am picking up your clean diaper. This might be a little cold. Here we go. You're not just making noise, you're bathing them in language. They're learning the cadence, the rhythm, the emotional tone of their home language.
Absolutely. I worked with a dad, let's call him Mark, who was a very quiet, reserved guy. He told me during a coaching session, I feel so awkward. My wife chats away to the baby all day, and I don't know what to say.
That's such a common feeling.
It is. So I gave him a really simple task. I said, Mark, you don't have to have a conversation. Just pick one thing you do every day and describe it out loud. Maybe it's making your morning coffee. And he started doing it. Okay, I'm getting the mug down. I'm putting the coffee grounds in the filter. And he said after a week, it felt totally natural. And even better, he noticed his baby would turn her head toward the sound of his voice and just watch him. It became their little ritual, a point of connection.
That's fantastic. It's not about having brilliant things to say, it's about sharing your voice. Singing works wonders too, and it doesn't matter if you're on key. Lullabies, nursery rhymes, even just humming. The repetitive, melodic nature is incredibly soothing and organizing for a baby's brain.
What about other sounds? Should we be playing classical music 24/7? Is that a thing? The Mozart effect?
The Mozart effect has largely been debunked. The key isn't a specific type of music, but a variety of gentle, interesting sounds. A soft rattle, the crinkling of a piece of wax paper, the gentle chime of a small bell. These things teach cause and effect. When I move my hand, this thing makes a sound. That's a huge cognitive leap.
You know, one of the things we used to do at the daycare was create little sound baskets for the older infants, but the principle applies here. We'd have a little container with things that made different noises. A plastic bottle with some rice in it for a soft shushing sound, a set of keys jangling, safely of course. For a newborn, you're the one making the sounds for them. Crinkle some foil a few feet away, shake a soft rattle. It's about introducing them to the soundscape of their world in a gentle way.
Gentle is the key word there. We also need to talk about auditory overstimulation. A TV blaring in the background all day, for example. To an adult brain, that's background noise we can filter out. To a newborn's brain, it's a constant, chaotic sensory assault. They can't filter it, it's just noise. And it can actually make it harder for them to tune into the important sounds, like your voice.
It's the difference between signal and noise. Your voice is the signal. The TV is just noise. It's better to have periods of quiet and then periods of intentional sound, like you talking or singing, than to have a constant barrage of electronic noise.
Exactly right. Okay, so we've covered sight and sound. Let's move on to what is arguably the most developed and powerful sense for a newborn: touch.
Oh, yes, this is the big one. They live through their skin. It's their first language.
It is, and the most fundamental form of positive touch is skin to skin. We hear about it for the golden hour after birth, but its benefits continue for weeks and months. Placing your baby just in their diaper directly on your bare chest, it regulates their heart rate, their breathing, their temperature. It lowers their stress hormones and boosts your bonding hormones. It is pure, unadulterated magic.
It really is. I can't count the number of coaching calls I've had with exhausted parents of a fussy, colicky baby where I've just said, okay, for the next hour, I want you to take off your shirt, put the baby on your chest, and just lie down and breathe. And the next time we talk, they sound like a different person. They'll say, it was the first time we both relaxed all day. It's not just a nice thing to do, it's a biological necessity.
Absolutely. And beyond skin to skin, we can explore different textures. This is so easy and again, totally free. During a diaper change, gently stroke the bottom of their feet with a soft, plush blanket. Then use a slightly rougher but still soft terry cloth washcloth. Then maybe a silky scarf.
Ooh, I love that. You're giving their brains so much information. This is soft, this is bumpy, this is smooth. You're building their sensory vocabulary. You can do it on their hands, their arms, their back, a little texture tour.
A texture tour. I'm stealing that. Gentle infant massage is another incredible tool. You don't need a special class, just some baby oil or coconut oil, warm it in your hands, and use long, gentle strokes on their legs and arms. It's calming, it helps with body awareness, and it's a beautiful, focused way to connect.
And it's a great way for partners who weren't the ones who were pregnant to have a really deep physical bonding experience with the baby. It's a dedicated ritual of touch and connection.
100%. Okay, so we've got sight, sound, touch. There are two other senses that are a bit less obvious but crucial: the vestibular and proprioceptive systems. Big words, simple concepts.
Break it down for us, Tim.
The vestibular system is all about balance and spatial orientation. It's located in the inner ear. Every time you gently rock your baby, sway with them, or wear them in a sling while you walk, you are stimulating that system. You're teaching their brain about movement.
This makes so much sense. It's why babies love being rocked to sleep. It's not just a habit, it's a deep neurological comfort. It mimics the feeling of being in the womb.
Exactly. And proprioception is body awareness. It's knowing where your body parts are in space without looking at them. For a newborn, this sense is brand new.
They have these limbs flailing around that they don't even realize belong to them yet. Swaddling can actually help with this by providing gentle, constant pressure that defines the edges of their body for them.
It gives them that secure, contained feeling, which is so organizing for their nervous system.
And this brings us to the activity that is like the sensory Super Bowl for infants. It hits vision, touch, proprioception, and the vestibular system all at once. And it is, famously, the most dreaded activity for new parents.
Oh no, it's time. We have to talk about tummy time.
We have to talk about tummy time.
The tears, the face planting, the little red face screaming into the carpet. So many parents I work with feel like they are torturing their baby. They hear, "You have to do tummy time" from their pediatrician. They try it, the baby screams, and they think, "I must be a terrible parent. I can't even do this one simple thing right."
I know, the guilt is real. So let's reframe. First, let's quickly cover why it's so important, and then we can get into the tips that make it less of a battleground. The main reason everyone pushes it is for motor development. It strengthens their neck, shoulder, and back muscles, which is the foundation for rolling, sitting, and crawling. It's also critical for preventing plagiocephaly or flathead syndrome.
Right, because they spend so much time on their backs sleeping, which is the safest way for them to sleep. We need to counterbalance that with time on their tummy when they're awake and supervised.
But it's also a sensory powerhouse. Think about it. When they're on their tummy, their visual perspective of the world completely changes. They're not just staring at the ceiling anymore. They're getting tactile input on their hands, their arms, their stomach. They're pushing against the surface, which is proprioceptive input. It tells their brain where their body is. It's a full body workout for their muscles and their senses.
Okay, the benefits are clear. So how do we actually do it without everyone ending up in tears? Let's give the people our best tips. My number one always is start small.
Yes, this is not an endurance sport.
No, we're not training for a tummy time marathon. The goal is not 15 minutes straight on day one. The goal is 30 seconds, 1 minute. Start with a tiny, achievable goal. Do it after a diaper change when the baby is happy and fed, not when they're already tired or hungry.
My favorite point starting isn't even the floor. It's you. Lie back on a couch or in a recliner and place the baby tummy down on your chest. Your face is right there. You can talk to them. They feel secure. It's a much gentler introduction. It totally counts as tummy time.
Ugh, tummy to tummy is the best. And then when you do move to the floor, get down there with them. Lie on your stomach so you're face to face. Your presence is the best motivator. Sing to them, talk to them. Put your face right in their line of sight. Make it a game, not a chore.
A rolled-up receiving blanket or a small nursing pillow placed under their chest and armpits can also be a game changer. It gives them a little lift, making it easier to raise their head, which can reduce frustration.
And bring in those visual stimulants we talked about. Put a high-contrast card in front of them, or even better, a baby-safe, unbreakable mirror. Babies are fascinated by faces, even their own. They don't know it's them, of course, but it's still captivating.
I had a family I was coaching. The dad was a big guy, really into fitness, and he was treating tummy time like a workout for his son, which is a sweet intention, but it wasn't working. The baby hated it. I suggested he try the tummy-to-tummy approach on the couch while he was watching sports. He'd lie back, put his son on his chest, and they'd watch the game together for a few minutes at a time. It completely changed the dynamic. It went from a tear-filled workout to a relaxed, bonding cuddle.
See, it's all about meeting the baby where they are and making it about connection. Short, frequent, and happy bursts of tummy time are 1,000,000 times more effective than one long, miserable session. If the baby starts to cry, it's okay to pick them up, comfort them, and try again later. It's not a failure. It's responsive parenting.
Exactly. The goal is a positive association with being on their tummy, not to push them through misery.
So we've covered a lot: visual, auditory, tactile, movement, and the dreaded tummy time. It sounds like a lot, but what I'm really hearing is that this is all woven into the normal, everyday care of a baby.
That's the most important point of this whole episode. This isn't another thing to add to your to-do list. This isn't schedule 10 minutes of sensory play at 2 p.m. It's about shifting your mindset. The diaper change isn't just a task. It's an opportunity for visual stimulation with a card and auditory stimulation by talking to them. A feeding isn't just about nutrition. It's an opportunity for skin to skin and connecting through touch.
It's about being present and intentional in the small moments that already exist. But what about knowing when it's too much? We've talked about stimulation, but what does overstimulation look like in a newborn?
That is a fantastic and crucial question. A baby's nervous system is so new and they can't just say, hey, I need a break. They communicate it with their bodies. The most obvious sign is crying, of course. But before they get to that point, they'll give you subtle cues.
Yes, the disengagement cues. Turning their head away is a big one. It's their way of saying, I can't look at that anymore. It's too much. They might arch their back, get suddenly jerky in their movements, or clench their fists. Yawning and hiccups can also be signs of being overwhelmed.
When you see those cues, it's not rejection, it's communication. Your job is just to listen and respond. That might mean dimming the lights, turning off the sound, or just holding them close and quietly in a dim room. It's about finding that sweet spot between boring and overwhelming.
Which, like everything in parenting, is a moving target and different for every baby. Some babies have a higher tolerance for stimulation than others. The key is to watch your baby and learn their unique language.
You got it. It all comes back to observation and connection. These first 12 weeks are a whirlwind, and it can feel like you're just in survival mode. But by understanding what's happening in that little brain and incorporating these simple, low-tech sensory interactions, you are doing more than just surviving. You're laying a foundation for learning, for attachment, and for a lifetime of connection.
Beautifully said. You're not just passing the time, you're building a brain. And you're doing it with the most powerful tools in the universe: your love, your attention, and your presence. All right, that feels like a good place to pause and summarize. There was a lot of information there. Let's distill it down into a few key takeaways for the parents listening.
Okay, Edna, let's hit them with our top takeaways from today's deep dive into infant sensory play. What's number one?
For me, number one is the simplest and most profound. You are your baby's favorite toy. Your face is the most interesting thing for them to look at, your voice is their favorite sound, and your touch is the most comforting sensation. Don't get caught up in the hype of expensive gadgets. The most powerful developmental tool is you.
Love that. My first one is think high contrast and low tech. For a newborn's vision, simple black and white patterns are magic. You can easily make them yourself. For their other senses, variety and gentleness are key. It doesn't need to be loud, flashy, or complicated to be effective.
Excellent. My next one is about the big one. Tummy time is a marathon, not a sprint. Start small with short, happy sessions. Tummy to tummy on your chest totally counts. Use props, get to their level, and stop before they get miserable. The goal is positive association, not checking a box.
Perfect. And my last one would be become a student of your baby. Learn to read their cues, an arched back, a turned head, a sudden yawn. These are all forms of communication. They're telling you when they're engaged and when they're overwhelmed. Responding to those cues builds trust and teaches them that their needs will be met, which is the foundation of secure attachment.
I love that. So to recap, you are the best toy. Think high contrast and low tech. Tummy time is a marathon, and learn to read your baby's cues. It's all about simple, responsive connection.
You got it. And that's a wrap on another episode of the Rising Parent Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us today as we explore the incredible world of your newborn's developing brain.
We hope this conversation left you feeling empowered and confident, not overwhelmed. Remember, these simple, connected moments are the ones that matter most. You are already doing an amazing job.
If you found this episode helpful, the best way you can support us is to subscribe to the Rising Parent Podcast on whatever platform you're listening to us on right now. It helps more parents find the show.
And if you have an extra 30 seconds, please leave us a 5-star rating and a review. It truly means the world to us and helps us grow. And don't forget to visit our website at risingparent.org.
We also want to hear from you. Is there a parenting challenge you're facing, a topic you want us to cover? Send us a message through our website. If you request an episode topic, we will make that episode for you. We want this show to serve your needs.
A huge thank you again for spending part of your day with us. Remember, new episodes of the Rising Parent Podcast are here for you every single Monday and Friday.
Until next time, be well and parents on.
Bye, everyone.